Ever get that feeling, like there's got to be more to life than just, the daily grind. We're always chasing deadlines and, you know, scrolling through those feeds and always looking for the next thing, but never really feeling satisfied.
Yeah.
It's like we're all on this hamster wheel, but like, where's it even going, right?
It is a pretty common feeling.
Yeah.
And it speaks to this whole idea of spiritual awakening.
Okay.
That shift in consciousness where you start to see beyond just the limitations of everyday reality.
Okay. Spiritual awakening. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like, what does that really mean?
It sounds kind of out there, right?
A little bit.
Well, think of it this way. It's like recognizing that there's more to life than just the stuff you can see and touch,
Yeah.
More than just like the material world and our routines. It's about connecting with a deeper part of yourself.
Okay.
Something beyond, the everyday hustle.
So it's not about like suddenly becoming a monk or chanting on a mountaintop.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
It's more about an inner transformation, a shift in how you perceive yourself and the world around you.
I see.
In fact, there's a Dr. X, a researcher specializing in consciousness studies. He found that people who've experienced a spiritual awakening, they show much higher levels of well-being and life satisfaction. It's like they've tapped into this whole new dimension of existence.
That's interesting. So how would someone even know, like, if they're experiencing this awakening? Is it like, bam, a lightning bolt moment?
Yeah.
Or are there, like, more subtle signs?
Well, there's no one answer that fits everyone, right?
Right.
Everyone's journey is unique.
Yeah.
But there are some common signs.
Okay.
Like a heightened sensitivity to negativity. Or maybe a strong urge to just connect with nature.
Okay.
Even vivid dreams and synchronicities that seem to defy, coincidence.
So wait, if I suddenly start having, like, crazy realistic dreams about talking animals, could that be a sign?
It could be.
Really?
It could be. But it's important to look at the bigger picture. Are you noticing other changes, in your thoughts or your feelings or even your behaviors?
Yeah.
Are you questioning old beliefs and values that just don't resonate with you anymore?
That makes sense. So it's not just about, like, random events, but like a more, like, I don't know, a holistic shift.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
about waking up to this deeper understanding of yourself and your place in the world.
Okay. All right. So let's say, someone is noticing these signs. Like, what's next? How do you, cultivate this awakening?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Like
This
where?
is where practices like meditation come in.
Okay.
Think of your mind like a snow globe,
Uh-huh.
Constantly swirling with thoughts and emotions.
Yeah.
Meditation helps you quiet those swirls, allowing you to connect with the stillness and the peace within.
So it's not just about, like, sitting cross-legged and chanting, oh.
Not at all. There are tons of techniques and approaches to meditation.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the sources we have for this, a book by a well-known meditation teacher, he compares it to training a puppy.
Okay.
At first, your mind is going to wander, it's going to get distracted.
Right.
But with practice, you can gently kind of guide it back to that state of focus and awareness.
I like that. That's a great analogy.
Mm-hmm.
But for someone who's never meditated before, I mean, it can seem pretty intimidating, right?
Yeah.
So where do you even begin?
I think the key is to start small. Even 5 minutes a day can make a difference.
Okay.
Find a quiet space,
Okay.
sit comfortably, close your eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and just focus on your breath.
All right.
Notice the rise and fall of your chest, the gentle flow of air in and out of your nostrils.
Okay. I'm trying to picture this. But what happens when those, inevitable thoughts, like, pop up? Do you just try to ignore them?
Well, not necessarily.
Oh.
It's more about acknowledging them without judgment,
Yeah.
right? And gently guiding your attention back to your breath. It's
Right.
like watching clouds drift across the sky.
Oh, okay.
You see them, but you don't get, caught up in them.
So it's like a practice in mindfulness, not necessarily emptying your mind completely.
Exactly. And the more you practice, the easier it becomes to access that inner stillness and clarity.
Mm-hmm.
There are even studies that show that regular meditation, it can have a really big impact on your brain. It reduces stress, improves focus, even enhances emotional regulation,
Wow.
like a workout for your mind.
That's fascinating. So are there other ways to cultivate, this sense of awakening beyond meditation?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Spending time in nature, practicing gratitude, engaging in creative pursuits, even connecting with like-minded people.
All right.
All those things can contribute.
So it's not like one size fits all.
Not at all. It's about exploring different pathways and finding what works best for you.
Okay. So we've talked about, the signs of awakening, the power of meditation, the importance of finding your own path.
Mm.
But like, what does this actually look like in real life? Like how does this awakening change how people experience their day-to-day lives?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And that's where things get even more fascinating. We start to see this inner transformation kind of ripple out into their relationships, their work, their overall outlook on life.
So it's not just about feeling good, on the inside, like it's a whole shift in perspective.
Precisely. It's like you're seeing the world through a new lens.
Okay.
Things that used to matter so much might start to seem trivial, while other things you never even noticed before suddenly become filled with meaning.
Can you give us an example? Like, what does that look like in real life? I think
Yeah.
that would be helpful.
Absolutely. Let's say you have a friend who was always chasing success.
Okay.
The corner office, the big paycheck, all those external markers of achievement.
Mm-hmm.
But after going through this period of deep self-reflection, spiritual exploration, they realize that their real passion is in helping others. So they quit their high-powered job and they start a nonprofit organization, finding true fulfillment in making a difference in the world.
That's a great story. Yeah. It shows how this inner awakening can lead to some pretty, drastic changes, but ultimately positive, right?
Yeah.
Like they've realigned their compass to point towards what truly matters to them.
Exactly. And it's not just about career changes. It can also transform relationships.
Okay.
Imagine a couple that's constantly arguing,
Yeah.
caught in these negative patterns of communication. As they each embark on their own journeys of self-discovery, they start to understand their own emotional triggers.
Right.
And they develop a deeper sense of empathy for each other.
Okay.
This newfound understanding allows them to communicate better,
Yeah.
build a stronger, more loving connection.
It's like they're finally speaking the same language.
Precisely. They're able to see beyond their own ego and connect on this much deeper level.
This is all so intriguing. But I also want to bring it back to, to our listeners.
Yeah.
Have you noticed any of these, signs of awakening in your own life?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe you've experienced, moments of profound connection with nature or felt a pull towards, a more meaningful path.
Or maybe you've started questioning old beliefs and values that don't resonate with you anymore.
Yeah, exactly. We'd love to hear about, about your experiences. And to remember, this journey, it's unique for everyone. There's no right or wrong way to awaken.
The important thing is to stay open to the possibilities and trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, and don't be afraid to embrace those challenges that, inevitably come up.
Right.
One of the sources, we have a collection of essays by, spiritual teachers from various traditions. They highlight these challenges as crucial stepping stones on the path to awakening.
It's true.
It's like growing pains, but for the soul.
Yeah. As you shed those old layers of, conditioning, those limiting beliefs,
right,
you might experience moments of doubt or confusion or even a sense of isolation. It can feel like you're navigating uncharted territory.
So it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Not necessarily. It's about embracing the full spectrum of human experience, the highs and the lows. One of the essays even describes it as a dark night of the soul.
Oh, wow.
Where you confront your deepest fears and insecurities.
That's intense.
Yeah, but it's through those challenges that you emerge stronger and more resilient.
Okay.
Like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
That's a powerful image. It reminds me of the hero's journey in mythology, where they face all those trials and tribulations before ultimately achieving their goal.
Exactly. It's a classic archetype that reflects this transformative nature of the spiritual journey.
Okay, so we've talked about the signs, the challenges, the power of practices like meditation. But what does this awakening actually look like in action? How does it change people's day-to-day experiences?
That's where things get really interesting.
Right.
We start to see this inner transformation kind of ripple out, into their relationships, their work, even how they view themselves and the world around them.
So it's not just about feeling good. It's about a whole shift in perspective.
Precisely. It's like you're seeing the world through a new lens.
Okay.
Things that used to matter so much might start to seem, trivial.
Right.
While other things that you never even noticed before, they suddenly become, filled with meaning. Yeah.
If spiritual awakening is about, expanding our awareness and connecting with something larger than ourselves,
right,
how do we balance that with like the demands of our everyday
Yeah,
lives?
that's a good question.
How do we actually integrate those, profound insights into our work, our relationships?
Right. Even the mundane tasks that fill our days.
Yeah, that's something I've been wondering about too.
It's a fantastic question, and it's something that, a lot of people grapple with as they embark on this journey. It's about finding that sweet spot between inner transformation and outer expression.
Okay.
One of the books we explored actually delves into this very topic. It suggests that spiritual awakening isn't about escaping from the world, but more about bringing this heightened sense of awareness,
hmm
and intentionality to everything you do.
So it's not about like becoming so enlightened that you, I don't know, neglect your responsibilities or
Right.
float around in a blissful bubble, like totally detached from reality.
Not at all. It's about finding ways to weave those insights into the fabric of your everyday life. Like, think about how you approach your work. Are
Yes.
you driven by external validation and a constant need to achieve?
Okay.
Or are you guided by a sense of purpose, a desire to make a meaningful contribution?
That's a good point. Yeah. It's like shifting from a mindset of, doing to one of being, bringing more mindfulness and presence to even those like the most mundane tasks.
Exactly. And it's not just about work. Think about how you interact with the people in your life.
Yeah.
Do you approach them with judgment and expectations?
Mm.
Or do you see them with compassion and understanding?
It's about bringing that same, sense of awareness and intentionality to our relationships, realizing that everyone's on their own unique journey.
Precisely. And even those simple things like spending time in nature, practicing gratitude, or engaging in creative pursuits,
Right.
they can become infused with a deeper sense of meaning and connection.
So it's about like finding those everyday moments where we can tap into that, like,
Yeah.
sense of awe and wonder.
Yeah.
That often comes with spiritual awakening.
Exactly. It's about recognizing the extraordinary in the ordinary, finding the sacred in the everyday.
This has been so insightful as we, wrap up our deep dive into spiritual awakening. I want to thank you for sharing your expertise with us
Yeah.
and guiding us through this, complex topic.
It's been my pleasure. And remember, this is a journey that unfolds in its own time. Be patient with yourself, trust the process, and enjoy the ride.
Absolutely. And to our listeners, we hope this deep dive has, sparked your curiosity
Yeah.
and inspired you to explore the depths of your own being. Remember, you hold within you the potential for, profound transformation and awakening.
Mm-hmm.
It's simply a matter of uncovering it.
So keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep shining your light brightly.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into spiritual awakening.
Mm.
Until next time, may you find peace, clarity, and connection on your journey.